All right, it's that time of the year, folks. That's our last episode of 2024. It's time to show you who you, the fans, voted for our awards, the Orange and Black Soccer Cast Awards, as voted by you, the fans and listeners. Let's get this thing started. Welcome to the Show of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the final episode of 2024. We are the first and only show dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans and supporters, and you, the listeners. And we're here to do the award show and nominate or show you who you all picked based on your votes. Helping me out for this episode, I've got a few helpers. First, Dylan. Dylan, are you ready for this?
I sure am. Yeah, it's my favorite episode of the year every single year.
Awesome. And also helping us out, Brad.
Howdy, guys. It's great to be here. And, let's end 2024 in style.
Let's end it in style and with some fun awards to give away. Lastly, we've got Larry. Larry, are you ready for this?
Could not be any more excited. I've got my tuxedo on. I shined my shoes. I have a bow tie on. You just can't see it under the beard.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm actually
disappointed.
I'm the only one that bothered wearing a nice jacket for this. I look like I'm back at Larry's wedding. And to be fair, the jacket smells like I'm back at Larry's wedding.
Hey, Dylan, at least I got a collar, so I'm somewhat dressed up with you, unlike these t-shirt wearing fools on the show.
It's a sweatshirt. It says sleep.
Let's get this thing started, though. So as a reminder, we sent out ballots for you all to vote. We got some votes from all of you. We're going to let you know who you all picked. So we narrowed down the nominees. When you voted, you got the full list of who you could vote for. We narrowed it down to the top vote getters, and then we will share with you who wins the particular award that we're discussing. I get to go first on the reading of the awards this year, which is fun. I get to do this. We are going to do newcomer of the year. The rule for this is it can't be someone that was here on a loan. So none of the loanees that were here for the first time ever. Has to be someone that 2024 was their first time playing for Orange County Soccer Club. Your final nominees for this award, we've got Ethan Zubak, who was a great goal scorer for the team. Christian Sordo, who made some good appearances with the club. We've also got Pedro. Dylan's making the face. He knows this is difficult for me. Guimaraes. That's what I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to say it. But we got Pedro there. We've got Charlie Asensio is also one of our final nominees. And last, we've got Ryan Ayoub. Great list of potential nominees and winners for this newcomer of the year. But I'm going to say this one. This one, it was a pretty obvious one. And when the votes came through, with more than 50% of the votes on this particular award, the winner for 2024 is Ethan Zubak. Ethan, over 2,200 minutes, 10 goals, 2 assists, 23 shots on target, and started 24 out of the 34 matches he played. Is there any surprise here from you, Larry, on this pick of Ethan Zubak as the newcomer of the year for Orange County?
Oh,
and look at that final show of 2024. Larry finally pulls a Brad. That's a way to do it, Larry.
I don't think I've ever done it before. 3 years on the show, never done it before. No, absolutely no question. This is the right choice. This is the right man for this particular award. Ethan had a terrific year for us. Can't wait to see what he does in 2025.
Perfect. Anyone else have anything they want to speak on this before we move on?
He took a bit to get going, but once he got going, look, there was a reason that 3 managers put their faith in Ethan Zubak this year, and it seemed to work out for him. I'm excited to see him back next year.
Perfect. Well, I guess we can move right along to our next award.
Let's go. And that's me. I've got Loanee of the Year. That is the player who came to Orange County Soccer Club on a loan. So our first nominee is from Phoenix, Ryan Flood. Great guy, terrific player. Really enjoyed seeing him. Chris Haggart. What a player he is. Very, very young, very, very huge, bright future, Duran Faree. And our last loanee nominee, Tomas Gomez, who came in and did a great job from between the pipes, showed a lot of good veteran leadership. I think this might have been the easiest award to give out this year, because after the first game he played with us, I went to the boss man and I said, "Hey, Daddy, can we please keep him?" Is Chris Haggart, no question. Came in, played in Brian Olowski's slot. He ain't Brian Olowski, but you know what? One hell of a fill-in for Brian. So congratulations, Chris. You absolutely earned this award.
Anyone have any thoughts on this?
I don't know if this was the easiest award to give, but it was the right choice. Ryan Flood is also a very good player who we had on loan this year from Phoenix. Can't go wrong with either of those two choices, but the better choice ended up winning. I agree. Awesome. I take the silence as we're going to move on to the third one this year, and that's Guest of the Year. Guest of the Year is the member of media who joined our podcast. And let's go ahead and read out those nominees. First one is the super fan himself out of Monterey Bay, super fan Dan. Then we have Matt Ontrekin from Rhode Island. We have Chris Walker from New Mexico United. We have Oz from, I don't actually remember where Oz is from, if someone would want to fill in for me. And then we have
Fuerza
Jared.
Union.
Sorry?
Fuerza Union.
Oh,
Union.
sorry. My bad, Oz. And then last but not least, we have Jared from Sacramento. And winner of the year goes to Matt from Rhode Island Raising Anchor Podcast.
It's well deserved, and it was fun. I think he ruffled a few feathers by kind of announcing that the world was ending when they had 2 successive losses this year. I won't name names of whose feathers were maybe most ruffled by that, but they had a good year, and congratulations to him. I hope they're humbled next year. Don't let it go to your head, bud.
And we have a video, I believe, for Matt. Matt, take it away.
Or we don't.
Hey, Orange and Black SoccerCast fans. Thank you so much for being honored and recognized as your favorite guest podcast for this season. We learned so much watching you guys before we started our inaugural podcast and season as a club. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for recognizing us and honoring us with this. We appreciate you guys so much. And as an Ethan Zubak apologist, I can't say anything more than happy holidays and thanks again for all the honors.
Thanks for all the votes. We really appreciate you guys. We enjoy listening to the pod. Take care of Cameron Dunbar. And don't think that we're going to forget that loss. When you come to visit us in Tidewater next year, things are going to be different.
A lot different. Happy holidays from us and to you, and enjoy the rest of this season and next year to come.
Happy holidays. See you next year.
Nice video, and a puppy was there too. That's sweet. I like that. Okay, I am up next for Young Player of the Year. Great category because I'm older than every one of these guys' dad. So first up,
And
we
really
have
quick, Larry, before we go through the list, we just want to clarify what the requirements were. It has to be a player that was 23 or younger at the start of the 2024 season, just so there's no anger about who the potential nominees were.
Got it. So for everybody who's wondering what Ray said, Young Player of the Year nominees. One of my personal favorites, Ben Norris, heading on up to Washington to become a Husky. Good for you, Ben. Next up, Bryce Jamison. Man, what a year this guy had. What an electric player he's becoming just day in, day out. Going to be a lot of fun to see him again next year. And last and not, but certainly not least, Owen Lamb, who is the oldest of these players, but he met the criteria. And man, Owen Lamb is one hell of a player, and I hope we get him back next year as well. The winner of this one is, who do you guys think? Who's your guess? That's right, Bryce Jamison. 33 matches played, 22 starts, 2,100 minutes, 5 goals, 3 assists, 32 shots, 80% passing percentage. Just fantastic, and just kept getting better as the season went on. Just kept showing more and more maturity as the season progressed. And boy, does he have a bright future in front of him. Still only just 18 years old, just a baby still. So big things ahead for this guy. Anybody else got anything?
I guess not. I did want to leave a second. I wasn't sure if we had a video from Bryce, but Ray, the look on Ray's face says we don't. And that's okay. I think from what we learned from the show is he likes to do the talking on the pitch, which leads us into best defender. We had 3 main finalists for this one. The aforementioned Owen Lamb. First up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading these out of order. Dylan Powers would be first off here. Sorry. And then following that, the captain himself, Marcus Nakim. And finally, as I've already said, Owen Lamb. Owen played all of the season, but 30 minutes. And, well, Marcus and Dylan both missed time to injury, but what a presence they had. And what a presence Dylan Powers had as he, this year, takes home best defender. And look at that. Just a shade under 15 minutes. Missed about half the season. 1 goal. And I think we'll have plenty to talk about with that 1 goal this year. And that veteran defense and that veteran experience at the back really just righted the ship at the right time this season. Take it away, Ray.
Yeah, here's what I'll say about Dylan Powers. A great presence for Orange County in defense. You could tell the matches when he wasn't there, he was missed. And yeah, like Dylan said, that goal that he scored in the playoffs was amazing. So props to Dylan Powers on it. This was a difficult one because Owen Lamb was another candidate that I think was surely deserving of the award. I think when you look at all three of them you could have easily said they deserve to be thought of as a best defender. Luckily for Orange County, we had 3 really good defenders for that category. We let Dylan Powers know that he won this award, and this is what he had to say.
What's up, team? So I just want to thank the Orange and Black Soccer Podcast and all the fans who voted for me. It means a lot coming from you guys, the guys who support us throughout the year and care for us. And like I've said multiple times, it really goes both ways. So I really appreciate the honor. Best of luck.
Awesome. So that was Dylan Powers. Moving right along. Best midfielder for 2024 for Orange County. We have 5 quality candidates or finalists for this. The first one, Kyle Scott. I don't think it's unknown to most people that listen to this. He's definitely my favorite midfielder for Orange County Soccer Club, continues to be so to this day, and an amazing player, and gave his all for Orange County. Second on this list, we have Brian Olowski. Season cut short in 2024, probably gets more recognition in more of these categories if he's able to play the full season. Definitely a quality player. We missed him that second half of the season. Third, we have Kevin Partita, another player that we missed for chunks this season, and you can see it in the quality of play sometimes in that midfield. He's a key piece for Orange County's plans, and it was sad to not see him get a full season there. A player who dealt with some injuries as another candidate here, but really, I think, took a step forward compared to previous seasons as far as the health and staying on the field for a bigger chunk of the season. Seth Kasipli, a lot of fans' favorite midfielder right there in Seth Kasipli, and one of the longest tenured players for Orange County. And last on this list, we have Christian Sordo, the newcomer. Again, another player that didn't see probably as much playing time as he was hoping for this season. Man, it's really, when you go through this list, there's a lot of injuries in that midfield area for Orange County. The winner for 2024 for best midfielder for Orange County was Kyle Scott. Kyle, in all of the 26 matches he played, he started them, just a bit over 2,000 total minutes, a goal, 2 assists. That goal was a nice goal, by the way. Unfortunately, it wasn't one of the finalists for our goal of the year, which we'll get to later, but it was a really nice goal for Orange County. A lot of passes, which you expect from a quality midfielder, and some decent accuracy there at just a tad below 88%. And the tackles were not won. Everyone knows he's super aggressive in the midfield. He's going to win tackles or get a yellow card, one or the other. And we saw that in 2024 from Kyle Scott. I'm going to ask, producer Andy, jump in.
I just wanted to say I specifically use this picture of Kyle Scott because it's absolutely my favorite picture of Kyle Scott.
Yeah. So for those of you that are not watching the video of this show, you're only listening to the audio, you might have to go check it out. Go to our YouTube channel, or you can go to our other social media channels. You can even go, if you go into the Spotify app, you can actually view our video of the show there, and just, watch the show and you'll see the picture that producer Andy chose for Kyle Scott. And it is a great photo. It's a great picture. What do y'all think? Who thinks, is this a great photo to represent our best midfielder in 2024?
I think we should have something with a little bit more flowing hair going, just.
We'll go ahead and let him know for next year if he could make an aggressive face, but have the flow going. That'd be better for us. Look, he put the team on his back this year, and it showed. We missed out having him the last few weeks of the season, but I mean, what a player. What a player. And a bid came in for him in the summer. He stayed. What a baller, truly. I'm here for it, and I'm excited to have him.
All right, are we ready to move on then? Best forward/wing. First nominee, our young player of the year, Mr. Bryce Jamison. I already said a bunch about him. You guys know what he brings to the table. Next nominee, one of my personal favorite players to watch. Cameron Dunbar is so electric on the ball. That didn't score a lot of goals, didn't have a lot of assists, had one really amazing assist this year that we will talk about later. But just so much fun to watch, and just to watch him abuse players out there going into the box. It is so much fun. Next up, Thomas Amang. Man, I love Thomas, but every time he runs, it looks like he's about to pull a hammy. But this guy is just a powerhouse, and he's always got a big smile on his face. It's just a lot of fun watching him play. And last, but certainly not least, Lord Zoobs, Ethan Zubak. We've already spoken about Ethan, having an award here this year. And I'm not going to string this out for too long. The winner of this award is Ethan Zubak. And again, what a great season. Once he got rolling for us, he was rolling, and he was putting balls in the back of the net. And he got that early goal in that Colorado Springs game that fired us all up. It didn't work out in the end, but man, it was exciting when he was going, and I can't wait to see him get going early next season in 2025. Like game one, opening night, back of the net. Hey, let's see you put up 15-16 next year, Ethan.
What's up, everyone, at the Orange and Black Soccer Cast? Just wanted to say a big thank you, guys, for nominating me for Forward of the Year. Man, it's a big honor. It's always huge to win awards for a club, whether it be through the league or the club. But I really appreciate you guys. It was just an awesome thing to get to know you guys throughout the year, and I'm just excited for a lot more to come this next season. So. Thank you guys again for this great honor, and yeah, see you guys out there soon. Thanks.
I mean, was there any doubt in your guys' minds about this? It's a big asking someone to come in and be the next Milan Olowski, and clearly at the beginning of the season, Zubak struggled. But under new leadership, he ended the season very strong. And like I said last week on the grading episode, Zubak is one of the main reasons we even make it to playoffs this year. Any last thoughts on this, guys? Awesome. So that moves us into our next category, Save of the Year. And I'm going to surprise you on this one. They're all Mr. Shutout Shuttler. But the first one is...
I'm going to say Colin Shuttler's going to win.
The first one is El Paso, August 17th. Mr. Producer, does it work? No, it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Something changed on the platform and GIFs don't work. So just use your imagination of Colin making an amazing save.
The second one was here in Las Vegas, where I live. Colin Shuttler late in the game against the Lights. Third one is a big save at the end of the first half of the Orange County versus Colorado Switchbacks game here in Orange County. Big win leading us into playoffs. And the last one is in extra time against Colorado Springs as well. And the winner of the year for best save goes to Colin Shuttler against El Paso. If you haven't seen this one, go watch it. There was no doubt this one was going to win.
I really just want to say he faced an incredible amount of shots this year, so it's maybe not potentially a huge surprise that we had to narrow it down, and that a lot of these really, really good ones kind of you see repeats of. Him keeping us level in Colorado Springs in the playoffs would have been my pick, but at the same time, we had like 5 options of balls being shot from distance, at pace, through traffic, and Shuttler's managing to get a palm to them and get them away from the goal. It's huge. And I believe Colin had some words. No, he did not.
Actually, we're going to hold off. There we go.
Oh, here it is. Woo!
I mean, when you have someone who puts the ball in perfect position and your goalie can make that top 90 save there, from kind of a long stretch, you got to give credit to where credit is due. Colin Shuttler is him.
He is him. Moving our way up the pitch. We're going to have to reuse that next year, I think. Moving our way up the pitch, it's time for assist of the year. And again, I will do my best to describe these to you. Big shout out to StreamYard for not letting GIFs work anymore. So up first, we've got Ryan Dogman, wrong-footed, a peach of a ball in Oakland, and tucked away quite easily. Second up, we've got Kyle Scott playing a long ball over the top. Bryce Jamison doing well, putting that way under some pressure. Third up, Ethan Zubak just dragging one across to the top of the box in Vegas. Seth Kasipli against El Paso, doing his best Kyle Scott impression. Under some pressure, playing a nice ball through to Cameron Dunbar. And then, Cameron Dunbar himself on his wrong foot, floating one up for one Dylan Powers to head in for the winning goal in Memphis. And not going to waste any time with this one. There could only be one. It was Cameron Dunbar to Dylan Powers in Memphis. This was just such a clever move from him. Loses his man and floats the absolute perfect ball over the top. It does not get any better, truly. I could watch that again and again and again, like I watch 2021 Cup Final repeat highlights over and over and over again. This feels like one of those great moments from a great player who maybe didn't have the numbers there, but when you have performances and the ability to do something like this, it's clear that we have a really good player on our hands.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. That was one of the prettiest things we saw all year. But here's the question: is it up for goal of the year? And I've got that category. So let's look at the nominees for goal of the year. First of all, we got to go way, way, way back. We have to go all the way back to March and opening night, Sacramento, walk-off goal by our goalkeeper. How does that happen on a header after just being on the show and talking about scoring goals when he was a kid? So y'all remember that one? I know everybody is going to remember that one. Next up, Ryan Dogman. And unfortunately, I don't remember this one. So if somebody has a remembrance of how this goal was scored and has a description, go for it.
It's a worldie. This is on the volley, top bins. I mean, he only scores bangers.
He only scores bangers. Beautiful. Next up, Dylan Powers, which I think that's got to be, of course, right there. It was the assist of the year, and it was a brilliant goal. And the question is it going to be goal of the year as well? Put your votes in the comments on if you think it's going to win for both of them. We just saw it, so we don't necessarily have to see it again. And then we have Bryce Jamison from June 15th. Against Switchbacks. And again, my memory doesn't go back that far. So Dylan, you got it. Go.
I was going to say, I got you, buddy. Hey, this is wrong-footed from him. This is off of a long throw, chests the ball, gets himself to the middle of the box, and hammers this one from the top of the box. Maybe the coolest goal I've ever seen someone score for Orange County.
That's the one where he looked shocked afterwards, correct?
Yes. His literal reaction is just putting his hands to his face and
Did I do that?
mouth agape. Yeah.
And last up in the nominees, Owen Lamb back on July 6th. Now, since I think we had the discussion that Owen only scores volleys, this has got to be one of those volley goals that he scored. Am I right, Dylan?
I like that this is the one that I can't think of, but I'm going to say probably because I don't think he scored from a free kick this year.
He did not score from a free kick. No. Anyhow, folks, I don't really think there's any question whatsoever about what the goal of the year is. And let's just go all the way back to March 9th, Sacramento, Colin Shuttler off the corner with the header to tie the game in the 95th, going into the 96th minute, and all of us losing our minds to open the season. So, Colin Shuttler, a goalie with the goal of the year.
He's going for, I think, just the Infinity Stone gauntlet of awards this year. As we head into celebration of the year, you once again will probably find this Colin Shuttler goal as part of it, and the ensuing celebration, which I hope plays in this replay here. I just want to say, I think even in football, rugby, you can't do that. I'm not exactly sure. I'm really glad, however, that he did not get injured. This is truly an amazing moment, and it was a well-earned point in Sacramento. As we head on down the line, I believe we've got Ethan Zubak up next. This is his goal against Phoenix, wheeling away, celebrating with Dylan Powers, and finding his way into the arms of the County Line Coalition. I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but wow, all these years that fans just wanted a player to acknowledge them. The County Line Coalition just wanted a player to acknowledge them, and we got it multiple times. Ryan Dogman back up. I might have said Phoenix for the last one. I'm very sorry. Ryan Dogman scoring his banger, immediately finding his way over to the County Line Coalition, blowing kisses, arms spread wide. And then, of course, Dylan Powers scoring in Memphis, running away towards the corner flag. The whole team's going, except for Cameron Dunbar. Not sure where he was headed. We still don't know. And I believe Dylan Powers said he was cramping up as this happened. So he just kind of falls to the ground and gets dogpiled. But that was your celebration of it. Took 116 minutes. But hey, we got it done. Dylan Powers got it done. It was a good team performance. And it was a great team celebration. This is one of the highlights of the year for me. Any of you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, you guys hit it on the head, nail on the head there. It's just nice seeing players go over to the County Line Coalition. You have players like Zubak who high step to get there. You have, Marcus Knockham and Ryan Dogman who just jump into the stands. And unfortunately, though, this is the celebration of the year because it's just a team win 116 minutes into a game. Everyone's gassed and just pure elation.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially this view right here of it, that's just the greatest thing. And you can actually see Dylan, his legs are cramping as he's running over into that. Just pure joy. And you've got to love that from a team. Haggart just about eating the camera. What a great moment that was for this team this year.
Yeah, I loved that amazing celebration with the team in a playoff victory. Producer Andy, what are your thoughts?
I don't have a thought. I wanted to say that we did have a video response from Cameron Dunbar on his assist of the year. Since this is, celebration of the year, I wanted to play that really quick so that I can make sure I get it played. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Go for it.
Hey, Orange and Black Soccer Cast. I want to say thank you to you guys and all the fans for voting me for Best Assist. I'm excited to see you guys soon, and I can't wait to bring you more goals and assists next season. See you guys soon.
That's always that's fun. Sorry we missed playing that at the correct time there, but thank you for catching that, producer Andy, and getting that into the stream there, because I would have been very upset with all of us if we forgot to play that acknowledgement from Cameron Dunbar. He appreciated the fans for voting for that, and it was definitely a great assist from him as well. Are we ready to move on? I think.
Yeah, I wanted to give Dylan a chance to share his last thoughts because I know he was trying to get something in before you talked over him.
No, I was really talking over Ray, and it wasn't that funny. So maybe we can just move on.
Well, you acknowledging something's not funny is probably the funniest thing to happen during this episode. Moving on, our next category is Win of the Year, and we got 3 options for you. The first is a mid-season 4-1 win on the road versus Memphis with goals from Jamison, Zubac, Lamb, and Sorto. Hooray. I don't know why we have Larry David out there celebrating, but
Because it was an
That's not
animated
very
GIF, and the GIF's not working. It was 2-0 win over Switchbacks.
And for the record, that's Jeffrey Tambor.
Jeffrey Tambor. Yeah.
And then
So I think
the
let
1-0
me jump in.
playoff win over Memphis.
Okay.
I'm about to swear. I'm about to use profanity.
Just hit mute first.
all right. The second one was a 1-0 win at Memphis. The third was a 2-0 win at Colorado Springs, like Larry had just said. And the winner is the 1-0 playoff win in Memphis. Guys, any thoughts on this?
I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to say it. There's probably no doubt that this would win our award for Win of the Year in 2024. Anytime you have a playoff victory as one of the options in a year that there were some struggles, there were some good wins for this team, but come on, let's be honest. The 1-0 win on the road in extra time in Memphis, this had to be the one that everyone picked, unless you're just somehow saying, I'm not picking for one of the playoff matches, I'm going to pick something else. But this is an obvious pick, right, Dylan?
It is. It's hard fought. It is, win or go home. There was no win that we had this year during the year where it felt like, oh, we've turned a corner. This was it. It was, hey, we made it into the playoffs after being second bottom for most of the year. But are we a playoff team, or did everybody else kind of let us in here? We just go on a good run, but can we get it done? And can we get it done for, I think, the 4th time in a row against a team? And can we get it done on the road at 11 a.m.? Yes, it turns out it does take 2 hours of footy, but we can, in fact, get it done. Well, Cameron Dunbar and Dylan Powers especially got it done for us.
I know I was the one who presented this award. However, I'm going to disagree with the fan vote here. Honestly, I really thought that we should have put them away in regular time, given that we were man up for the last 12 minutes and probably the better team, in my opinion. My vote was actually for the Colorado Switchbacks game because that's a game where we're needing wins. We can't drop any more points late in the season in order to make playoffs, kind of limp at the playoffs. And here we are at home versus the top of the table in the West, and we shut them out up a man pretty much the entire game. So I'm going to disagree with you guys, fans.
Although Brad, let me jump in here. Although Brad makes a strong argument for his disagreement, we still got to do this. Hashtag Pal on the Sky out.
I'm not sure Brad, I only disagree because Orange County never does well against 10 men. So at that point, I saw that red card. I had 5 seconds of going, oh, yes. And then it immediately dawned on me that, no, in fact, this is about the worst thing that could have happened to Orange County, save for conceding. Sometimes you take those. You get it done however it takes in the playoffs. Your turn, Ray.
And dead air.
You're the DJ of the 4 of
All
us.
right. Yeah, no, I wanted to make sure everyone was done with what they were talking about with that, the arguments there. For the first time this year, we're actually awarding some awards to the podcast crew here at the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. The first one we're going to do is the best taste in music. If you didn't know, we put a playlist out for best taste in music for the podcast. You got a chance to see what we like, and these were the finalists for the award. First, we've got, hey, look at that amazing looking gentleman there. We've got myself. This is not looking good for me if I'm this award on here, right? Second on this list, Andy, the producer behind the scenes. Look at that neat little hoodie he's rocking too in that picture. That's really cool. Third, one of our writers, DK, who was also a big part of our show this year, appeared in many episodes. His taste of music was pretty darn good. And then last, I don't know how this happened, but we got Larry on there. Look at how happy Larry was that on that picture too. First ever award, and maybe the only time we'll do this unless we get some new podcasters, because I don't know how much taste in music can change year over year. But the winner of the 2024 podcaster best taste in music, according to the fans and listeners, producer Andy. And there's his playlist of stuff that he had on there. Great job, producer Andy. If you didn't know, he works hard behind the scenes, including for this episode, working hard behind the scenes to try and get things going. So if you ever want to get some thoughts or some ideas for music, apparently producer Andy is the place to go. So ask him, and you shall.
And I would just like to say to y'all who voted for Andy, and in regards to best taste in music, y'all are some angry people. Angry.
If y'all didn't know, behind the scenes,
that is said with nothing but love towards Andy, but y'all are some angry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, behind the scenes, when Larry listened to one of the playlists, he said he felt like he wanted to commit some self-harm or something. I don't know, something like that.
I wanted to punch myself and other people in the face, but that's all right though. So hey, let's move on to the next category, which I have volunteered to award, Podcaster of the Year. We have 3 finalists for this one. We have our very own. Oh my God, what is that? Like, how old is that kid? Like 9? What the hell is going on right there? That, for those of you who can't recognize him, that is Dylan Allen, our very own Dylan. Next up, we have producer Andy for Podcaster of the Year. And last but not least, we have old fat guy himself. Let me tell you something. There is no question whatsoever about who the winner is for this, because whereas Ray does an amazing job of leading our podcast, and whereas Dylan does an amazing job of just knowing what he knows, and Brad knowing what he knows, and me just genuinely attempting to be entertaining, this show does not happen if it is not for Andy. And simple as that. Andy is the winner for our podcast of the year. He absolutely deserves it 100%. Andy, even though you are 99% in the background, it is you. It happens because of you. This show will go on without me, without Brad, without Dylan, definitely without Ray, but the show doesn't go on without you. So, Andy, all you, baby.
I think right now it is between producer Andy and Colin Shuttler for the most amount of awards. And I just want to say, I think, and he might hop in and let me know, but he might be happy if I would remind you to like and share our posts and maybe subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. If you've made it this far and you haven't, why don't you subscribe?
We've got to remember, folks, and Larry, this your poor job here. This is why you didn't win. Is we got to remember, there's people that are not watching the video form of this. You did not share producer Andy's words on accepting this award with the listening audience. Larry,
actually, you weren't paying attention because I did. I just didn't read them verbatim. He said he's not sure he deserves it, and I said you absolutely 100% deserve it, even though you're in the background. Ray, we got to have you pay attention, baby.
I can't believe that these two didn't win the award.
All right, listen up. The rules. The rules when you're gonna read someone's quote is to read it verbatim, not just sort of plagiarize it and just summarize it. So producer Andy, when accepting this award, had this to say: "Not sure I deserve this since I'm 99% in the background, but thank you all." And also, Dylan did get the final part correct, so good job, Dylan. Wow.
I believe we got some feedback this year that we should stop fighting. I'm just glad to know that We could not handle that.
Go for it, Dylan.
Oh, I was too busy trying to figure out who's supposed to be reading this. Turns out it's me. It's a wonder I didn't win Podcaster of the Year. Who would have been surprised? All right, first up, the man himself. I refuse to use the nickname that everyone's trying to force, but it is Ethan Zubak, our
Zuby.
leading goal scorer this year. No, Brad. No. Next up, the man who's rivaling Andy for the most amount of awards, Colin Shuttler, followed closely by the man with the most minutes this year, Owen Lamb, and finally, last but certainly not least, Seth Kasipley. Is it really any guess? And I'm very sorry, Andy, you might not win the most amount of awards. Colin Shuttler bringing it home. I mean, let's talk about this. 97 saves, 13 clean sheets, and he scored a goal, which I will remember forever. I think it was the third goalkeeper in USL history to ever score a goal, and to do it in style and, give Orange County fans something to believe in the first week of the year, because otherwise that match was pretty dire. I'm every year more impressed by the player that we have on our hands. He was very fresh and very raw when he showed up and kind of deputized under Patrick Rakowski, and he's grown into the role, and he's still young, so we're not even at the peak, I believe, of a Colin Shuttler. I'm excited for what's to come, and I'm excited to hear us chant hopefully 35 more times next year. Does anybody else have any words on this one?
I'm going to jump in here really quick. And here's what I want to say about Colin Shuttler and why he deserves Player of the Year. Are those 13 clean sheets in 28 matches, 28 appearances, 13 clean sheets. My great math as a fiscal officer in my day job, that's 46% for your clean sheets. When you ask Google and Google's AI, which is Gemini, what is a good percentage of clean sheets for goalies? A professional goalkeeper considered around 30 to 40%. A potentially elite goalkeeper, percentages of like 40 to 45%. Colin Shuttler exceeded 45%. So we can legit call him an elite goalkeeper, no questions asked, at least at this level for USL Championship. And if you think I'm wrong, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I couldn't agree more. And I can also remember, and you mentioned, watching Colin grow into this position and getting better and better every year. I can remember a couple of years ago, a lot of us being just, oh God, really? And just not really being all that wowed or impressed with what he was doing. But again, better and better every single year that he has played for Orange County Soccer Club. And we got him back for 2025. So let's just keep getting better, Colin.
Well, let's move on, if we may, to the fan favorite player for 2024. I'm going to let you all know, by far, this was the closest voting for any of these awards. I believe when I was going through the list, there was 13 or 14 of the players potentially available receiving votes, which shows you how close this award really was. And thus, when we go through this, you're going to see why we have, I believe it's 6 finalists, if not more, maybe 7, who knows. But the finalist for the fan favorite player for 2024 in Orange County, we've got Ethan Zubak. We've already talked about him plenty in this episode, so there's not much more to throw on there. We also have last year's winner of this award, I believe, Marcus Knockham. He was definitely a big fan favorite. He's a odds-on favorite to win it again. I mean, he won it already, right? We also have Kyle Scott, who everyone has learned is definitely my favorite midfielder on this team and probably my favorite player on Orange County over the last couple seasons. We've got the winner of the best player on the team, also best goal scorer, best save, Colin Shuttler. What else do we say there? We've got one of the longer tenured player for Orange County, Seth Kasipley, who had a great season for the team. And obviously fans love a player. And when you've been here long enough, you grow even more popular with the fans, right? We also have Dylan Powers, who scored the game winner in Memphis in the playoffs. And again, another longer tenured player. So obviously that sort of adds a little bit to the ability to become a favorite of the fans. And last on the final list here, we got youngster Ben Norris, who fans like. I mean, he showed some good stuff with Orange County this year, and it's good to see that happening. He's like kicking the rest of the nominees out of the way because he wants to win this. The winner for the 2024 fan favorite player. And again, this is different than the player of the year, fan favorite player. Producer Andy, before we announce this, what you got?
Apparently, StreamYard only allows 100 slides.
So we're stuck here.
We would like to take a brief moment to thank StreamYard for their wonderful help on tonight's episode. It's gone so well.
So
Thank
here,
you, StreamYard.
We're going to do this without help from slides because we can announce this. We're smart. We have a backup sheet that we can go off for this, so we don't need to see the slides to know what we're doing. I'm going to tell you this right now. The winner of the fan favorite player for 2024, demolishing any other person who thought they had a chance of getting the most awards this year, goalkeeper Colin Shuttler, the winner for 2024 as the fan favorite player. So I can't recall. I don't remember. Have we ever had someone win both the best player and fan favorite, or is it typically two different names, I believe, right? But we'd have to go back and check, and I don't think any of us want to do that. Let me just say this, though. Again, very close voting, and closely in second place was Kyle Scott. I believe it was like 1 or 2 votes separating the two of them. So congratulations, Colin Shuttler, fan favorite player of the year. We let Colin know all the awards he won, that you all voted for him as the winner this year. He sent us a message, and we want to share that right now.
Hey, Orange and Black Soccer Cast fans and listeners. Thank you so much for voting me the Save of the Year, Goal of the Year, Best Player, and Fan Favorite. I definitely did not see myself getting the Goal of the Year award this year, but it's definitely going to be a goal of mine again for next year, and I'm excited to get back next year and keep going and hopefully get another Fan Favorite and Best Player award. Thank you.
What do you got to say, man? You got to love that. He didn't expect to win Goal of the Year this year. He got it. And what does he say? He wants to try and get another one next year. What do you think of that, Dylan?
I hope that Colin Shuttler scores the game-winning goal in extra time or injury time of the 2025 USL Championship final, because I think that's about the only way he's going to top what he managed in Sacramento this year. I like that it was unexpected. I don't know how. I mean, truly, he had no business being there, and he put the way ahead or I see people miss all the time.
Maybe the unexpected was coming into the season. Maybe that's what he meant by that message. Because yeah, obviously a goalkeeper scoring a header in the closing minutes of a game to get a draw is pretty obvious as a winner. But who knows? What about you, Larry?
I can only recall ever seeing that one other time in a game that I was actually watching in my entire life. And that was Becker for Liverpool a few years back. Did the same thing in like the 95th minute. And my mind exploded when that happened. And then when our goalkeeper does it, I couldn't even breathe when that happened. It was the most amazing thing. And what a great year for Colin. He was just fantastic. Everything he did this year, just wow. Nothing else but wow.
And Brad, I want you to jump in here because this is fan favorite player. We all got to talk about this.
I mean, who else could it have been? It was by far our best player this year. Colin Shuttler, like I said earlier, is him, made some amazing saves. And when you say Zubak is one of the big reasons we make it to the playoffs, it's also double that Shuttler. His ability to keep us in games by blocking some very tough shots is the reason we won so much down the stretch. Besides the tactical change with Danny Stone, besides Zubak finding his form, it was really Shuttler who was continuously in form all year, who kept us in these games and really dragged us to playoffs.
So what we're going to do next is, so let me say this. Congratulations to all of our 2024 winners for awards, including producer Andy, Colin, Ethan, Cameron, Bryce, and I'm missing a few others on here, but Dylan Powers. Congratulations. This is all voted on by our fans and our listeners. and fans of the team. So we appreciate that. And we appreciate all the fans and listeners that took time to vote for this and share their thoughts. We're going to move ahead now to something we introduced last year. We really wanted to do this so we can recognize players that impacted Orange County, their fans, and meant a deal to all of us and to the team. So we created a Hall of Fame. Last year for our inaugural class, we welcomed in 5 members as basically the first members of our Hall of Fame, all of them very deserving of that. Those included Michael Orozco, Richard Chaplow, Aiden Quinn, Thomas Inavolton, and Ronaldo Damas. We decided what we're going to do moving forward is we would welcome 2 to 3 new members to that Hall of Fame every year based off of fan votes, based off of very in-depth discussion between us as the podcasters and who we wanted to bring in to recognize for that. And now we're going to go ahead and go through that and let you all know who the inductees for 2024 are. And I'm going to hand it off to Dylan for the first one. And what I want to ask of you all is share a little bit about, who it is, and maybe people can try and guess while they're listening to you.
You might know him as Orange County's top goal scorer. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm not upset with you. He scored 43 goals in 70 matches with a further 11 assists. He came in as a relative unknown and lit the league up. He was the 2022 Golden Boot winner for the entirety of the league. I'm trying to think of another player I've seen that's played for Orange County that is so willing to take on a shot from anywhere. And as I've already mentioned, most of the time, it was a pretty good idea when he did. It is, of course, none other than Milan Olaski, who deservedly now plies his trade in Europe. Who knows? Again, this is a player I thought that was going to come in, kind of be in the shadow of his older brother, and he didn't care. He said, yeah, sure, doubt me, and went crazy. Ray, I believe you have something to say?
No, I just wanted to share with y'all. There was a lot of discussion last year when we started this, when we had already been announced. It had already been announced that Milan was moving over to Europe. What do we do here? Do we want to maybe throw him in here as sort of a member of that inaugural class because of how much he meant for Orange County during his time here? For those that don't know, our rule for this award is it has to be a player that did not play for us at all during the calendar year we are inducting him to Hall of Fame. So obviously last season in 2023, Milan had played for Orange County. So that's why he was not part of that inaugural class. Other than that silly rule that someone created, myself, he probably would have gotten in that first class based off of some of the discussions. But again, the rule was it had to be someone that is a year away basically from playing with the club. Thus, he doesn't make it in the inaugural class, but he makes it in his first ballot, a Hall of Famer for the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, Milan Olaski. He's well deserving of this. I appreciate all he's done for the team. We let him know. We let him know that the fans voted him in, and we voted him in for this. He sent back a message for us to share with y'all.
What's up, guys? I just want to say thank you for voting me into your Hall of Fame. I miss Orange County. I love the club, and a lot of that's down to the great fans, so I really appreciate it, and I'll always be rooting on Orange County no matter where I am. So best of luck, and hopefully see all you guys again soon.
I like the way he ends that message. Hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Is that sort of a hidden message that he's making his way back stateside at some point? Who knows? Thoughts on this? I'm going to go to you first, Larry, because Dylan shared all the stats. I want to let Dylan go last on his thoughts of this award. Larry, what are your thoughts?
You know what? Just such a fun player to watch. And Dylan said it. He was not afraid to shoot at any time from anywhere. And you got to respect that from a player. When I interviewed him for our journalism side of the house there in 22, he said to me, I made a bet on myself, and he bet on himself coming to Orange County, in 22, when he didn't get the play time that he wanted in MLS, and he won. He, without a doubt, he gambled on himself, and he won big time. and he's getting to achieve his goals, and he's just going to achieve so much more. He's still young. 25 now, 26 maybe. He's got a lot of football still ahead of him, and he's always going to be in the hearts of Orange County Soccer Club. The Olowski family, as a whole, will always be in the hearts of Orange County Soccer Club.
Brad, were you in the contingent of people that thought he should have got in last year? And obviously, if you were, no problem with it. And what are your thoughts of him first ballot getting in?
I mean, this is first ballot. It was almost unanimous across the entire community, if not unanimous. I agree with the rule that we imposed about players need to be at least moved on from the team for a year before we can induct them in. Mostly just because we don't want to deal with recency bias. And with a player like Milan, it's really hard not to have recency bias just because of how iconic he was to this team. Scoring 43 goals in 2 years is a huge accomplishment, and it's hard to replace a player such as Milan Olowski. And it's truly incredible. We've had 2 Olowskis on this team who have really given everything to this club. And DK said it in the chat. We miss him, but we'll follow him throughout his career. He's just one of those players that's so legendary.
Dylan, wrap it up.
I mean, what's left to say? He came in and lit the league up, and he was the only bright spot in 2022, as far as I'm concerned. He was maybe the most obvious choice of a player who was going to take a pretty big step up when it was time to go to that next level. And yeah, I hope he's enjoying himself out in Denmark.
All right, let's go, Brad. What do we got next? Number 2 for the class of 2024.
Yeah, so this is a player, comes from Portland, Oregon. His name is right here on my scarf as a true homer that I am. He throws bombs. He's everywhere on defense. He's a champion with Orange County Soccer Club. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm talking about the one only fisherman, Brent Richards, who, is a huge reason why, not just on the field as a player, but as a person, we do a lot of the things that we do with our Playing for Pride charities. Brent Richards is just a great guy, was the heartbeat of the team for a couple of years, and, is enjoying retirement. Truly deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. We went back and forth with a bunch of different players, but it just feels wrong to leave Brent Richards out right now. So Brent Richards is in, and Larry, do you have any thoughts about this?
We really all went back and forth on who should be the second nominee outside of the front office personnel. We're going to talk about in a minute, and It took a little bit of talking and chatting for us all to agree on Brent, and I think it's the right choice for us to have agreed on him. This is just a fantastic human being, an amazing soccer player, smart, kind, the things that he does outside of the soccer pitch with the Pride community, you just have to give so much respect to. Such just a sweetheart of a human being, and so glad to see him get in this year.
We were talking about the guy that captained the best team in the USL in 2020. He deserved to lift a cup, and I'm really glad he got to do that in 2021. And I'm really glad he got to be, a part of it. He played, I think, 76 minutes of that final, and he got to do it alongside Seth Kasipli, no less. And that was such a dynamic duo, and it was so great to see that friendship. He was a hell of a player, getting up the right line, just serving and serving and serving over the course of a few years with us. But yeah, his contribution off the field is maybe just as good and just as important. And because he retired with us, yes, he will in fact bleed orange and black. Take that, Brad.
we let Brent know that the fans and the show entered him into the Hall of Fame for 2024. And he sent us back this message.
Hi there, Brent Richards here. Just want to thank everybody at the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, including all their listeners, for voting me into their Hall of Fame this year. You guys do such a great job. It's always a pleasure to be on the show, and just want to thank you all for all that you do and for voting me into the Hall of Fame this year. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, a great ambassador for the club. Always was willing to talk with us, willing to come on the show. I don't think there was a moment whenever I was at the matches on the sideline, if I, went to give a high five, I always knew Brent would be appreciative of it and give a high five back and say something. I'm not saying other players don't do that, but sometimes even in the frustrating moments, you could always count on Brent Richards wanting to be part of the conversation and share the love with the fans, which was awesome to see. And I want to say this, he's probably one of the reasons why we have Brad here with us on the show, because I know there were a few Reno players that came over to Orange County back at that time when Reno sort of collapsed, right? And that's why Brad really sort of followed the Orange County path, because of that connection with Reno, and also the connection of getting Dylan really drunk in Reno and making Dylan have a fun experience on the flight back.
This is about Brent Richards, and not in fact about me.
No, but again, well-deserving Brent Richards, and I had no argument against him being included in the class of 2024 for the Hall of Fame. Again, we mentioned before there was some debate on who this should be, but I can't think of a reason why Brent isn't included in this. There may be some other names that people would say deserve it maybe more for some reason or another, but Brent definitely deserves it as well. And I appreciate that. So congrats, Brent on the induction in 2024. Larry, I'm going to hand it off to you for our final induction for the Hall of Fame for 2024.
I am very excited to announce this person because this is the first Orange County Soccer Club member of the front office who is joining the Orange and Black Soccer Cast Hall of Fame. Born in August of 1974 in Solothurn, Switzerland, started his football career playing for FC Solothurn, pardon me. 94 to 95, played for the incredibly well-known Los Angeles Salsa. 96, 97, played for the also really well-known Anaheim Splash. 2014 to 2016, he was the manager of a little-known club, the Orange County Blues. And from the first time I ever went to an Orange County Soccer Club game, and I met him the first time I went to an Orange County Soccer Club game, every game thereafter, even before I became a part of the podcast team and before I became a part of the Orange County Soccer Club family, he would greet me and he would greet my son. And he was just incredibly kind and an incredibly generous man. And if y'all haven't guessed it yet, it is none other than our former president of soccer operations and general manager, Mr. Oliver Weiss, who is just one of the most fantastic human beings I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. He is a Hall of Fame member for us now and forever, and I'm very proud to also call him a friend and say he has become a friend over the years. So, Oliver, congratulations to you. Couldn't be happier to see you get into our Hall of Fame.
Hey, Orange County Soccer Club fans, this is Oliver. Thank you for inducting me in the Orange and Black Soccer Podcast Hall of Fame. This medal that we won together in 2021 for winning the USL Championship is something that I will treasure forever. Go Orange County, and good luck in 2025.
Has to be difficult. He's a league representative, so you have to be very careful of the things you might say in that moment. But we glad that Oliver is aware of this and that he had that message to share with y'all. Here's where this goes. And again, we're sharing some of the back end discussion that we had on this, because there was some discussion about Oliver and should we include him or should we not? Part of the reason for including Oliver in this, and we opened it up to front office and people that were only coaches with the club this year. Richard Chaplow gets the sort of nod as the first head coach inducted into the Hall of Fame, because he was both a player and a head coach. Oliver's the first front office person. And I will talk about this. Some of the key reasons why we decided Oliver's part of this class of 2024 is Orange County is not where it is right now with their development system, their program of shipping players to Europe, which means they're getting players that want to come here to play. We're not there without Oliver as part of sort of the person that started that. And there's a reason why the league decided, hey, we need Oliver in a league position because he's doing such a great job with youth development and the pathway to Europe with the team in Orange County. Let's try and do that on a league level, which we've seen now some success at the league level on that. Orange County is not where it is just sort of in a stabilized place without someone like Oliver, who got them to where they need to be by being fiscally responsible with the operations budget and the player budget and finding ways to bring in that extra flow of cash, which in soccer, that means selling prospects that have a bright future or potential, because that's where you make your money. If you don't know that about soccer, that's how any successful club makes money, other than the ones that are backed by oligarchs or oil money or something like that. If you don't have that backing, you make money off of buying when a player is maybe undeveloped or unproven, developing them for a few years, selling them off to a team that wants to see some better things, that doesn't want to take the time to develop that. So without Oliver setting that up for Orange County, we're not where we are right now. We potentially don't even have the championship in 2021 without Oliver's brain trust in setting up that team. He was here since 2017, so 4 years developing the team to where it got. Well deserving of this. Definitely a key reason why Orange County is in the position they are in a very, very difficult market to be successful as a lower level club in any sport or team in any sport, regardless if it's baseball, basketball, or soccer. So definitely deserves to be part of this position. I know I talked a lot right now. I know my co-hosts are like, darn Ray, just shut up so we can say something, but I had to just let that be known. This is my thoughts on it. Brad, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. Without Oliver, there is no academy system that is making players go abroad. The league sees that. The league wants more players like Milan Oloski, like Kobe Henry, like the players from Louisville and Mark Kanich from Charleston. But in reality, we went back and forth a lot. We want to make it hard to get into the Hall of Fame. We want to make it, something that is kind of prestigious, and only having 2 players plus 1 front office this year is really setting the bar for, the standards that we expect. And I think every single person who made it this year is beyond worthy of being recognized amongst some of the club's elite, some of the club's most highest performing players, most beloved people, and reasons for the success of the club, getting 10 more years with the city.
Dylan?
I bet everyone's most excited to hear what I have to say about this one. It's probably no secret that Oliver and I didn't see eye to eye on plenty, which is fine. But Oliver, obviously, we've talked plenty in the last few minutes about his on-field impact. I mean, even if we look at the 2015 Orange County season, this is a team that finished 13th the year prior in, albeit a much smaller league, so not great. And led us to winning the West, which was huge for that. And kind of ushering Orange County into an era of professionalism beyond what he does as a member of the technical staff, as a member of the front office. His impact in the community, just beyond soccer with Soccer for Hope, is also huge. And so, much like a Brent Richards here, he's in on merit on the soccer side, and he's in on merit for what he's done just generally for the Orange County community, and for the handful of players that have gone through, that he's convinced to come to Orange County, develop his players, and move on. So well deserved, Oliver.
So let's just say this. I want to congratulate the 3 members of our class of 2024 for the Hall of Fame. That's Milan Oloski, Brent Richards, Oliver Wiese. They all are well deserving of this, and we're all excited to put you into our Hall of Fame. If you didn't know, we have on our website, we actually created a page for our Hall of Fame. It was probably like 11 months too late, but we created it, and we will in the near future, when I say that in the next few days, we'll add the new inductees onto that. Congratulations on that. That wraps up our awards for 2024. I want to thank all of the listeners, fans, supporters who took part in the voting. We appreciate you doing so. It means a lot to us that you're willing to take some time to do that and take it seriously. When you look at the award winners for all of the categories, it's not like someone just like went and messed around and voted for random people. We got serious votes for all of this. And that even includes the Hall of Fame. There were serious votes on that. When we looked at the results, we appreciate what you had there. We just want to thank you listeners for everything this year. You all are a big reason why we do this. We do this because we have fun with each other. If you don't realize it, we're having fun with each other on this. We like to mess around. We like to joke around with each other, but in the end, we're all friends off this show. We've had some great friendships as part of this, and that includes the three gentlemen that are with me on this episode, producer Andy, and those that have participated on the show this season and in years past. I mean, you even go back to someone like Alan, who was a part of this, the early years of this show, still someone that we all consider a great friend as part of the show. And so we appreciate you as the fans for listening to us talk about this team over the last, 6 years now. We're going to be going on 7 years, Dylan. Can you believe that? But we appreciate it. Thank you. I apologize. I think my internet is conking out. Dylan, take over.
Great. Not even sure what's already been said, but yeah, a big thank you to everybody. The 6.5 year mark now, and it's hilarious to think of what started as a child version of me, an actual child version of me, Larry, not the photo that I supplied, and Ray just talking on Tuesday nights, and then bringing on new faces and bringing on some more chaos. And it's a pleasure of my week every single week. I like to start strong on a Monday, chat footy for an hour, and move on. Brad, I believe there were some things you wanted to talk about. We have plenty to look forward to in 2025, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a full list in front of us, but we've had some big, returning news drip fed to us from the team. We've already alluded to having Shuttler come back. We've already alluded to having Zubak come back. But today the team announced someone returning this upcoming year who I'm really excited to talk about, hopefully a lot more, and that's Mr. Ben Barjolo. Look, we've heard a lot of names of players that are currently in our quote-unquote next wave that we think are going to do amazing things, and Barjolo is one of those guys that just keeps coming up over and over. And then I know I was talking, some slander on him last week when I gave him a lower grade than everybody else here, but Mr. Cam Dunbar, like I said, he is a supremely talented player with the ball at his feet. He'll make anybody miss, he'll juke anybody out. And I hope that next year he finds kind of his shot skills and starts finishing and putting the ball into the net, because I see him, and I called him Diet Milan last week, but he makes his own shot opportunities. He is so talented enough to do so. So are there any players that you guys are looking forward to coming back this upcoming offseason for next year?
I'm really looking forward to seeing how Jameson and Ben Barjolo move forward in their games, especially Bryce Jameson. I will be very surprised if we have Bryce Jameson for the entire season. If we don't, that won't make me mad. I'll be very happy for him. But he is just, stop it, Ray, and stop it, Maddie. Stop it. Just stop it. No Capelli updates. It's going to be fun to watch see the maturity that these guys are just going to naturally have on the soccer pitch this upcoming season. It's going to be a good time.
I'm excited for another season of Ethan Zubak with double-digit goals, and I'm hoping for Cameron Dunbar double-digit assists. And if you don't follow the club social media, that's totally fine. If you follow the Orange Black Soccer Cast, at OCSC_soccercast on pretty much every single social media thing. You will see these updates. You will hear probably mostly terrible opinions, but look, you can find, we've got stuff for you all through the winter. So keep an eye out for us, okay? Like, comment, smash that subscribe button.
Yes.
Do us a favor. Ray, I'm begging you, please do not talk about Capelli, but what are you looking forward to in 2025?
2025, I'm looking forward to an amazing year of soccer from Orange County Soccer Club. I'm looking forward to an amazing year of friendships with you, fine people that I've been sharing this platform with over the last either couple years to now, 6.5 years with Dylan. It's been amazing. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to more of that. I love my Monday nights. I love talking to y'all, even on a frustrating night like tonight, where producer Andy's having some technical issues. I'm having some technical issues on my end. I still have fun with this. I still enjoy it. Dylan, really quick, and then we're going to wrap things up.
I want to defend producer Andy here. He's not the one having technical issues. That is fully on StreamYard. So I will co-opt once again and say, hey, if you are a software company that offers a live streaming platform that works, please email us info@ocscpodcast.com.
By the way, let me just make a little correction. That is Podcaster of the Year, producer Andy. Let's get the title right, okay? You can put that on business cards, Andy.
Podcaster of the Year, producer Andy, not podcaster Andy. But hey, that's the way it goes. Let's do this. Our final, what did you learn for 2024? Brad, I want to go to you first.
Yeah, I learned that somehow, some way, no matter how many times we protest and say hashtag Samora out, he's still somehow here defiantly as our leader, week in and week out. Look, we can't do it without Ray. We love Ray. We like giving him some credit on air. But if you've ever tried leading a podcast and giving your own interview questions, they're hard to come up with on the spot. They're hard to come up ahead of time. And somehow Ray is able to do it, 20 something odd weeks out of the year. So as much as we like to give him some crap, I've learned it's really hard to do a show without him.
Dylan, give me some love.
I'm certainly not going to do that. I'm going to give Colin Shuttler's 2025 USL Championship winning goal plenty of love, however. I am shocked to learn that he expects to score again next year. I'm here for it, though.
What did you learn, Larry?
What did you learn?
I learned that I love Capelli.
Oh, look at that. Larry's trying to set this up, huh? He's really trying to set this up. But here's what I learned. I learned our listeners want an update on Capelli. I'm going to share this. I received my item.
Just one.
Every listener counts, and a listener wants to know. I'm going to tell you this. I did get all my stuff from Capelli, so that part of it's done. Here's the fun part is the producers at Tribunal Justice liked what I had to say when I was dealing with Capelli. They actually said they would bring me on if I could file a claim in court, but I didn't do so. Larry, what the hell are you doing? If you're not watching the video aspect of this, you saw some creepy stuff from Larry right there. That's going to be your new nickname, Larry, Creeper Larry. I also learned that Brad respects me, which is cool because I didn't think Brad respected me until this episode. No, in all honesty, yes, we like to joke around. We like to mess with each other. We like to talk trash with each other. Again, we all get along outside of the show. We all have fun. We just all have our roles. Dylan's the NPR smart guy. Larry's the crazy uncle. Brad is the villain, and I'm the energy. I don't know.
You're the Joker.
I'm the Joker. I'm going to have to start learning some quotes from the Joker, or I could just sing the Steve Miller Band song. I don't know which one we want to do there. With that said, we want to thank each and every listener that paid attention, that listened to us, that had fun with us in 2024. We're looking forward to a fun 2025, talking about Orange County Soccer Club, having fun. Oh, look at that. Our old buddy Cameron, the guy that used to make noise on our show, is even listening. Great job, Cameron. But yeah, thank you everyone for all of this. With that said, final time for 2024. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. Oh, I didn't thank producer Andy. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, and we are out.